I could get used to this kind of weather, and you should too. It's going to stick around all week long. I'll have your forecast.
Police say it was a random killing. Now another person charged in the murder of Bo Kirk 2 years ago is taking a plea deal.
Less than a week after the passing of his wife Barbara, President George H.W. Bush is in the hospital tonight.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jane McCarthy. The saga of an infamous North Idaho murder case is coming to a close. It was more than a year and a half ago when a pair of men kidnapped and robbed a total stranger before shooting and killing him. Bo Kirk's body was found days later in the forest.
Today, the second of two men charged with his killing pleaded guilty. KREM 2's Taylor Vita was in the courtroom today.
He joins us live with what happened. Taylor?
Well, that suspect is Justin Booth. It was a year ago that his accused accomplice and roommate David Hutto also took a plea deal. For Justin Booth, it's likely that he'll spend the rest of his life in prison. Justin Booth's trial was set to begin tomorrow, but now that won't happen. This afternoon, Booth briefly appeared before a judge and acknowledged that he had agreed to a plea deal with prosecutors. This is video from before the hearing. A judge wouldn't let us record what happened during court. It all stems from a night on October of 2016. Bo Kirk, a father and husband, was driving to his Coeur d'Alene home. Prior court testimony showed that Booth and his accomplice, David Hutto, were out looking for homes to rob. At one point, Kirk pulled up behind them, and the duo decided to follow Kirk home. Kirk would be abducted and later fatally shot. Last year, Hutto pleaded guilty to his role in the murder, but maintained that Booth was the one who pulled the trigger. Likewise, Booth said that Hutto was instead the one who killed Kirk. Either way, Booth today entered what's called an Alford plea. It carries the same weight as a guilty plea. In exchange for pleas to the murder and robbery charges, prosecutors dropped other allegations against Booth. However, as part of the deal, Booth will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. And Kirk's family was in the courtroom this afternoon. They declined to comment on what happened. As for Booth, meanwhile, it's likely that his sentencing will take place in August. Live in Coeur d'Alene, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Taylor, thank you very much. Search and recovery crews called off the search for a missing swimmer at Palouse Falls. Franklin County Sheriff's deputies say the water is just too dangerous. The Spokane area man slipped underwater Saturday while swimming with friends. Divers searched for the 23-year-old during the weekend, but rescue crews say the current was just too swift.
The second teenager involved in the death of a Pullman High School student will serve probation. Matthew Maketa was one of two men charged with Tim Reeves' death last summer. Court documents show the teenagers were playing a game of Russian roulette when another teenager shot and killed Reeves. After the shooting, the two men went on the run before police arrested them near the Canadian border. A Latah County judge sentenced Maketa to 5 years probation for felony grand theft and concealing evidence.
Well, it's a situation people in Airway Heights are familiar with, unfortunately. The water now on parts of Whidbey Island in western Washington is not safe to drink. The Navy just released the results of new drinking water tests near the base, and it shows the water contamination is getting worse. The Navy there used similar firefighting foams to the ones used by Fairchild Air Force Base. The chemicals were used for decades and are connected to an increased cancer risk and developmental issues in young children.
Major construction underway on the North Monroe corridor in Spokane, and many business owners want the public to know they are still open.
Yeah, it's tough when there's construction, so the city of Spokane is trying to help. KREM 2's Kira Alfolan has more about a website that can help you navigate the construction.
Yes, well, this website was made to connect both business owners and also visitors to the North Monroe Business District. So the website is monroeproject.com. So once you go to the website, this is the homepage that you will see. It is very cool because of the interactive map. We'll get to that just in a second. But if you want to receive updates via email about construction or all the different happenings in the North Monroe District, you can go to this little bar right here, type in your email address and subscribe. Let's get down to the interactive map, which I think is the cool part of this website. All right, so this is the map. Once you go into the map, we'll see it's going in right now. Once you go into the map, you'll see these little icons right here, which kind of tell you what kind of business you're looking for. So let's say we're trying to get to Brickyard Barbershop. So I would go to the groom icon. You click on Brickyard Barbershop and it takes you right down to it on the map. And then you can see where Axis is. So from the west, you're going to go east on Grace, and from Post, you will go west on Grace. It also shows you a good area to park as well. So if you're trying to avoid construction, this is the way to go with the interactive map. If you go back to the home page, you'll also see that there is a video kind of explaining construction, the process that's happening, and also what the city is trying to do to get some of the businesses' attention and to try to promote some of these businesses during construction. One last thing I want to show you is the Facebook page. So they have a link to the Facebook page, Meet on Monroe. So if you click on it, you'll see that they have a whole page set up here. So if you'd rather get updates through Facebook and not through email, you can go to this Facebook page. All of this information, everything you need to navigate construction is all on this website, MonroeProject.com. I'll send it back to you.
Good information to know. Well, as for your forecast, a gorgeous day here in the inland Northwest.
Oh, it was tough to be inside, and rumors has it. Tom, are you ready for the forecast over there?
I'm so ready. I am so ready to bring this to you. I can't tell you how long it's been since I've been able to bring you this sort of news. And I'm telling you, folks, it's been a long one. More than 200 days since we've seen temperatures get in the 70s, and it may happen tomorrow. Certainly will happen on Wednesday and Thursday. Tracking sunny and warm weather all week long. Enjoy it because it begins to change Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday will start dropping back into the more average temperature range for this time of year. By the way, the average high this time of year is about 60 degrees. We'll look for an overnight low of 41 on your day planner forecast. 71. Again, if we hit 71 tomorrow, we haven't seen that kind of weather since back in September. And then for the weekend, I've got 71 on Saturday. Saturday night into Sunday, increase in clouds, chance of rain, windy conditions. We'll look for a daytime high Sunday, 63, which again is more in line with this type of April. But for the next 3, 4, maybe 5 days, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you more about that with your 10-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. Well, when students with autism graduate from high school, they're often left with a daunting question: what now?
But a new program at the University of Washington aims to teach these young people some important skills to help them land a paying job. 10 Land got to meet some of these pioneering interns.
This one is when I signed in, I did that.
Annalise, a 20-year-old intern at UW, is just getting her day started. She has a list of responsibilities, like making sure conference rooms are ready for the next classes. Across campus, Alan Chen is scrolling through stacks of studies, helping organize them.
I've been on computers ever since I was young.
Although these are pretty typical intern tasks, this program is uncommon, and that's because each of these interns has autism. Organizers say there are only 3 programs like this in the country, and the one at UW, which is in its first year, is the only one on the West Coast. It's a collaboration between UW, Seattle Public Schools, and Prevail, a nonprofit that helps people with disabilities. Annalise and Alan will graduate next month and hope their unpaid internships will prepare them for their first paychecks.
I would like to get a paid job that have all my own money so I can live on my own someday.
I am hoping this job will help me develop some skills.
He's just been fantastic.
John Kemner, who oversees the office where Alan interns, says the 20-year-old should have no problem thriving in a professional environment.
So he's pointed out a few things that we hadn't thought of prior to setting this up.
2 interns from the program have already found jobs. Others are hoping for offers in the coming weeks. These young people may need extra coaching and time to adjust, but they've already proven that they too can work.
That was Ted Land reporting. UW has 7 interns in the autism program this year. Some of them say they are planning to attend community college in the fall.
So also interesting, we are told that WSU just launched a similar 2-year program. It's called ROAR, which stands for Responsibility, Opportunities, Advocacy, and Respect. It provides individualized programs for students who live on campus during the spring and fall semesters.